我们今天继续上礼拜的主题，主啊，我们在这边真好。
So we will continue last week's topic, which is, Lord, it is good for us to be here.
我们请看马太福音第17章，
Let's flip to Matthew chapter 17.
请看第4节。
Matthew chapter 17, verse 4.
马太福音17章第4节，
Matthew chapter 17, verse 4.
彼得对耶稣说：“主啊，我们在这里真好。”
And Peter answered and said to Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here.
那彼得、约翰、雅各他们跟着耶稣到山上，看到主耶稣变了形象。
So Peter, James, and John followed Jesus up into the mountains and saw a transfiguration.
脸面明亮如日头，
And his face became white as light,
衣裳洁白如光。
and his garments shone as the sun.
所以看到一个不一样的耶稣。
So they saw a different Jesus that day.
那我们上礼拜用哥林多后书第4章第5章的那一段来探讨这个经文。
And so last week we analyzed this using verses from 2 Corinthians.
因为那个每个人本来你的生命是一个自由的。
Because originally you're all free in your lives.
但是人有这个身体就被限制住。
However, due to our bodies, we become shackled.
人有身体就有身份。
So when with body comes identity.
那有了这个身份，就会人与人之间或家庭之间就有关系。
And because of identity, we form relations with others.
那魔鬼在跟神的斗争当中，神是一个灵，魔鬼是个灵。
And in the eternal battle between Jesus and the devil, since they're both spirits.
是不是那个谁都是要不要过到另外一边？他是不是有另外一个下来了？可以跟他说。那个魔鬼的灵怎么样都赢不了耶稣，赢不了神。
And no matter what, the spirit of the devil cannot match that of God's.
那个神造了亚当夏娃成为神的儿子。
And when God created Adam and Eve as his sons and daughters,
神吹一口气就成为有神的灵的一个活人。
he breathed a breath into them and gave them the spirit of God.
所以人本来拥有神的形象。
So man was created with the likeness of God.
但是因为亚当夏娃失败。
However, since Adam and Eve sinned,
因为他有身体把他限制住，
because they were limited by their bodily flesh.
所以当亚当夏娃犯罪以后，整个物质界就被控制在撒旦手里。
Ever since Adam and Eve sinned, the control of their flesh came to Satan.
那神又差主耶稣来到世上。
And so the Lord sent Jesus to earth.
所以主耶稣跟我们一样，就是有这个身体来限制他。
And so Jesus too, in coming to earth, was bound by mortal flesh.
所以他是玛利亚的儿子，是约瑟的儿子。
He is the son of Mary and Joseph.
他就跟我们一样，就是有他的身份。
And like us, he has his identities.
所以整个被限制。
So he too is limited.
所以上礼拜我们就会谈到，我们要去关心那个看不到的。
So last week we talked about how we should care for that which we cannot see.
不要去看那个看得到的。
And we shouldn't put priority to things that we can see.
我们这个看得到的会渐渐的毁坏。
What we can see will slowly degrade over time.
我们那个看不到的内在的生命才是永远存在的。
However, our inner life, which we cannot see, is everlasting.
所以保罗自己就愿意脱掉这个被限制的这个身体。
So Paul is willing to depart himself from his body, which limited him.
啊，他在腓立比书里面有谈到说，我宁可离世，好与主同在，因为那是好的无比的。
And so in the book of Philippians, he said that he would rather lose his life but be with God, for that is true happiness.
啊，他要脱去这个身体，
So he was willing to relinquish his body
哎，就是要穿上另外一个身体
and instead put on a new body.
啊，所以保罗的书信里面多处会去谈到这个奥秘。
And so Paul talks about this multiple times in his letter.
那我们回来马太福音17章第1节到第8节的这一段里面啊，那个第一件事情是耶稣变了形象。
So if we look back at Matthew chapter 17 from verse 1 to 8, the first thing you'll notice here is the first thing to happen is Jesus' transfiguration.
那第3节这地方就出现了摩西跟以利亚。
And in verse 3, Moses and Elijah come out.
那我之前有谈过啊，就是17章的1节到8节里面，虽然是短短的8节，
And I talked about however short these 8 passages may be,
啊，是整本圣经的经纶
it talks about, in fact, the entire Bible in here.
啊，从亚当夏娃一直讲到人类的最后。
From Adam and Eve till the end of man.
哎，那如果有属灵的智慧，我们就从这里面可以看得清，很明白。
And if one has spiritual wisdom, one can understand a great deal from these 8 verses.
啊，所以我们就将这个奥秘把它解释清楚。
So let us explain these marvels.
啊，那前面谈到摩西，
So first they talked about Moses
后面谈到以利亚。
and then Elijah.
哎，那为什么没有别的？
So why is there no one but these 2?
神明明拣选了亚伯拉罕
God chose Abraham.
啊，神称为亚伯拉罕、以撒、雅各的神。
He is the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
那我们正常来讲，哎，应该是雅各啊，不然就以撒啊，不然就亚伯拉罕啊。
So why is it not Jacob, Isaac, or Abraham here?
哎，那怎么会是出现摩西呢？
Why is it Moses?
哎，所以它有它特定的意义。
There is a specific reason for this.
那第一个意义就是摩西他代表了律法
Firstly, Moses represents the law.
啊，摩西之前没有律法，
Well, before Moses, there was no law.
哎，但摩西之前没有律法，不是没有神，
However, just because there was no law, it doesn't mean there wasn't God.
所以神是最重要的
So, foremost of importance is God.
啊。亚当夏娃在伊甸乐园里面没有律法
When Adam and Eve were in Eden, there was no law.
啊，没有圣经，
There was no Bible.
没有教会，
There was no church.
没有教会的组织
There was no administration of the
啊
church.
没有长老执事
There was no deacons or elders.
啊，没有传道负责人，
There were no preachers, no representatives.
哎，所以这些都没有，
There was none of those.
但是只有神。
But there was God.
哎，如果我们看到第8节，只见耶稣在那里。
And if you look at verse 8, it will show that there is only Jesus there.
哎，那在伊甸乐园呢，只见到耶和华在那里。
And
伊甸乐园，
so, where is Jesus in all this?
哎，就在亚当夏娃的那个年代，在伊甸园啊，那个亚当夏娃只看到神在那边。
When Adam and Eve, they were in Eden, all they saw was Jesus.
啊，所以神的临在才是最重要的
So the most important thing is that the Spirit of the Lord is there.
啊。神啊告诉挪亚要造方舟
It was God who told Noah to create the ark.
啊，神叫亚伯拉罕离开乌尔
It was God who told Abraham to leave Ur.
啊，神叫亚伯拉罕到他指示的地方去
It was God who told Abraham to go to the promised land.
啊。神跟亚伯拉罕立约
It was God who made a covenant
啊
with Abraham.
神要当亚伯拉罕的神，
God, he would be Abraham's God.
所以这些立约也好，这些祝福也好，都是神跟人之间的关系
So all these covenants are all contracts between the Lord and the man.
啊。雅各的儿子约瑟被卖到埃及，
When when Jacob's son Joseph was sold to Egypt,
那没想到神与他同在。
people would never have thought that God would be with him.
后来他在埃及当了宰相，
However, he became the magistrate in Egypt.
所以那个希伯来人就在埃及地就变成很多很多的人。
So, the Hebrew people, they multiplied in Egypt
就变好几百万人。
and their populations rose to the tens of thousands.
好，那所以第二个就是为什么要谈到摩西？
So, the second reason for including Moses here
就是摩西将以色列人从埃及地领出来，
is that he brought the Israelites out of Egypt.
是神叫他领出来的。
And it was God who told him to do so.
在出埃及记第3章里面，神亲自告诉摩西，你要将这些百姓领出来。
In Exodus chapter 3, he personally told Moses directly to lead his people out of Egypt.
好，我们看一下出埃及记第3章，
Let's look at Exodus chapter 3.
请看第7节，
Exodus chapter 3, verse 7.
出埃及记第3章第7节。
Exodus chapter 3, verse 7.
第7节，耶和华说：“我的百姓在埃及所受的困苦，我实在看见了；他们因受督工的辖制所发的哀声，我也听见了。我原知道他们的痛苦。”第8节，我下来是要救他们脱离埃及人的手，领他们出那地，到美好宽阔流奶与蜜之地，就是到迦南人、赫人、亚摩利人、比利洗人、希未人、耶布斯人之地。第9节，现在以色列人的哀声达到我耳中，我也看见埃及人怎样欺压他们。第10节，故此我要打发你去见法老，使你可以将我的百姓以色列人从埃及领出来。
7. And Jehovah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people that are in Egypt. I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmakers, for I know their sorrows. 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of Egyptians, and to bring them out of that land to a good land, and a large, until a land flowing with milk and honey, until the place of the Canaanite, the Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. 9. And now behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come upon me. Moreover, I have seen the oppression, wherefore the Egyptians oppressed them.
那神不只有去拯救亚伯拉罕，
And so, God did not only save Abraham,
也拯救他的子孙。
He saved his descendants.
当亚当夏娃犯罪以后，
After Adam and Eve sinned,
神就开始兴起了他拯救的计划。
the Lord had already thought of their salvation.
我们读这本圣经，它的主要的目的就是在看神他拯救的计划。
And the whole point of the Bible is a massive recording of Jesus' plan for salvation.
那整个圣经在整本66卷里面，就是神拯救与最后拯救的审判。
After all 66 books of the Bible, in the end, it is all talking about God's master plan for salvation.
所以他不是等亚当夏娃犯罪以后，人类就成名了。
So it is not that humanity is fated to die after Adam and Eve sinned.
我们今天看到的都是一个看得见的物质，
What we see now are only the visible things.
都是去看到看得见的身体。
We see the visible flesh.
但是神要拯救的不是这个看得见的，
However, what God will save is not this physical flesh,
而是看不见的。
but this unseen
但是
spirit.
看得见的这个身体在受苦，神会怜悯的。
However, when the unseen body suffers, then God will alleviate the pain.
所以当以色列民在埃及受苦的时候，他们的那个就是哀求神的声音，神确实听到了。
So when the Israelites were suffering in Egypt, He did hear their cry.
在埃及地，他们没有圣经可以读
In Egypt, they had no Bible.
没有教会可以去，
They had no church.
什么都没有。
They had nothing.
但是唯一的，他们心中有神。
But they had the Lord in their heart.
我们今天呢，
What about today?
我们有教会，
We have a church.
我们有圣经，
We have Bibles.
我们有教会的传道、长老、执事、负责人，
We have preachers, deacons, representatives all within the church.
我们有固定的聚会地方，
We have a place where we can worship.
我们可以唱诗祷告，
We can sing hymns. We can pray.
我们什么都有，
We have everything.
但是我们少了一个东西
However, there's one thing we lack,
就是以色列人他有的神，
which is the God that was with Israel.
他们没有这一切，但有神。
They had none of these, but they had God.
我们有这一切，但我没有神
So what if we have all of those things, but not God?
有一个传道到我家来喝茶
So there was a preacher who came over for tea.
他就跟我讲说，现在主耶稣跑去哪里，这人都丢掉了
And he told me, whereas the Lord gone, he has forsaken man.
他就讲一个那个主耶稣讲的一个比喻
So he told of a parable told by Jesus.
他说有人拿一个珍珠
So there was a man with a pearl,
这个珍珠很珍贵
and it was very precious.
那个人就是看到这个珍珠就变卖他所有的家产来买这个珍珠
And a man saw this pearl and how beautiful it was, and sold all his possessions in order to buy that one pearl.
这个珍珠就是神
And this pearl represents God.
就是神的价值
And that is the value of God.
那我们真耶稣教会以前从中国开始是从农民开始的
So when the True Jesus Church started in China, it started with the peasants and farmers.
以前中国很穷
Before, China was very poor.
我们中国自己的教会并没有西洋人拿钱来帮助我们
So the churches in China were not like the Western churches with lots of money.
我们靠的不是西洋人
And we didn't rely on them,
更不是靠着西洋人的钱
nor their money.
我们靠的只有神
We relied on God.
所以神就是我们的一切
God was everything.
所以整个教会就在中国大陆就很快的被传开了
And so the church spread very greatly within those old days in China.
这个道理也传到台湾
And that reached Taiwan,
到香港
to Hong Kong,
到新加坡
to
那
Singapore,
再从新加坡传到马来西亚
and from Singapore to Malaysia,
然后再传到印尼
and to Indonesia.
所以整个中国东南亚日本这边都有
So all of Eastern Asia, it spread like a wildfire.
那韩国都有
In Korea too.
我们所传的就什么都没有，就是神
And what we preached was none but God.
神的灵，神的作为
God's Spirit, God's action.
神的灵就是我们的圣灵
God's Spirit is with us in the Holy Ghost.
神的作为就很多的神迹奇事
And in actions, many miracles were performed.
以前你也不会讲道讲的那么精彩
And before, the sermons were not even that interesting.
人信主也不是因为听到听得这么精彩去信的
And people didn't believe because they heard some wonderful sermon.
所有信主的以前老一辈信主的眼睛都是只有看到神
The first generation of believers, they all saw none but Jesus.
所以这个看到神这心中的声音就会达到神那边去
And when that happens, the voice in the hearts, they reach Jesus.
以色列人在埃及地他什么都没有，心中只有神
So in Egypt, the Israelites have nothing but God.
他那种哀苦那种痛苦的声音就达到神那边
And the voice of their suffering reached the Lord.
神是一个灵
So the Lord is Spirit.
所以神不会在物质界工作
So he does not work in earthly ways.
但是神去拣选了他的工人摩西
However, he chose his servant Moses,
叫摩西带领以色列人脱离了埃及，脱离了法老王
that he may lead the Israelites out of Egypt and the Pharaoh,
就脱离了一个奴隶的生活
and to get them out of a life of slavery.
所以刚刚有提到为什么谈到摩西
So before we talked about why is Moses mentioned here,
因为他兴起的拯救，这个拯救非常重要
because he represents salvation, and salvation is really important.
所以在出埃及记14章，他们过了红海到15章，摩西就做歌。
So from Exodus chapter 4, where they left, they crossed the Red Sea, all the way to chapter 15, he was writing songs.
摩西站在神交代他的位置上，看到神的作为。
And he stood where God told him to stood and saw the actions of God.
不止摩西看到神的作为，
And it wasn't only Moses who saw it.
所有的以色列民都看到神的作为。
Every Israelite at the time saw the actions of God.
白天有云柱，
There was the pillar of cloud during the day,
晚上有火柱，
and there was the pillar of fire during the night.
神亲自的临在，
God was there, present.
神亲自让他们过了红海，走了干地。
He personally was there with them and led them across the Red Sea.
他们亲眼看到他们自己得救，而埃及的兵丁就被淹在这个红海里面。
And they saw with their very own eyes the Egyptian soldiers pursuing them get swallowed by the Red Sea.
所以当时他们的心情是多么的激动，多么的热烈。
So you can imagine how fervent, how much the fire in their hearts burned at the time.
所看到的不是什么哲学的道理啦、圣经的道理啊，什么都不是
What they saw was not a knowledge, words within a book.
只看到神。
What they saw was God.
所以这一点对摩西来讲是一个非常重要的工作。
And this is an important job that was given to Moses.
将在埃及地的所有以色列人领出来
To bring all the Israelites out of Egypt,
让他们得救
that they may be saved,
让他们能够去看到真正的神
that they may see the true God
看到神真正的作为。
and see his true actions.
所以在埃及地有水可以喝，
So in Egypt they had water to drink.
讲错，在旷野地有水可以喝
Oh, in the wilderness they had water to drink.
有玛瑙可以吃
They had manna to eat.
他们在旷野这些地方，我昨天有在那个 YouTube 看一下，其实他那块地整个都是黄色的，都是沙漠。
So I looked up on YouTube the areas they crossed, and it's mostly all just sand dunes.
在这么困苦的地方，人竟然可以生活，
But yet they were able to live in such a desolate land.
所以可以生活的并不是那块地
So what let them live was not the land.
可以生活的乃是神
It was God.
我昨天看的那个 YouTube 的题目叫《流奶与蜜之地》。
So the title of the video I saw was called Land of Milk and Honey.
里面根本不是什么流奶与蜜之地
And it wasn't, and when you looked at it, the contents, it was far from being a land overflowing with milk and honey.
是一个很荒芜的黄土跟沙漠。
It was nothing but yellow sand and dunes.
那为什么是牛奶与蜜呢？
So why is this overflowing with milk and honey?
牛奶与蜜是指的神的恩惠。牛奶与蜜指的是神的恩典。
And so this honey and milk represent the grace of the Lord.
我们今天住在加拿大，
So today we live in Canada.
我们住在蒙特罗。
We live in Montreal.
神同在就是流奶与蜜之地。
So where the Lord is the land of milk overflowing with milk and honey.
如果没有神，这个地方物质很发达。
So without the Lord here, the economy here is pretty bad.
可是它不是流奶与蜜之地。
So over here it's not financially horrible, but it is far from the land overflowing with milk and honey.
所以以色列民因摩西领他们出来，就看到神。
So when Moses led the people out of Egypt, they saw God.
那第三个，摩西就是神借着摩西与以色列人立约。
And lastly, Jesus made a covenant with the Israelites through Moses.
神与亚伯兰立约。
When God made a covenant with Abraham,
但是 过了几百年以后，又以他们的子孙，就是摩西时代的以色列民来立约。
He made a covenant with Abraham, but hundreds years later, after generations, he would make another one with his descendants.
那跟亚伯兰立的约是一个应许的约。
So before the covenant with Abraham was a promise.
那现在呢是一个律法的约。
But now it's a law.
所以在出埃及记20章，神就亲自颁布了律法。
So in Exodus chapter 20, he established the law.
所以很重要的十诫。
And this was very important.
那这个十诫的颁布，就开始兴起的就以色列民真正的一个宗教的开始。
He established the 10 Commandments, and from there, the religion started.
他们开始有祭司。
They started having priests.
有会幕。
They started having altars.
然后他们献祭。
And they sacrificed there.
所以制定了律例典章。
And they had many rules and laws.
所以整个神的律法就在摩西的手里变得一个很完整。
And so God's law became perfect at the hands of Moses.
所以变成以色列民他生活的一个标准。
And became the rule by which the Israelites lived by.
那这样看起来，以色列民就变成保护在神律法里面。
And since then, Israel has been protected within the law of the Lord.
那以色列民是不是之后就会变成一个属神、心里喜欢、神真正喜欢的以色列民？
So do the Israelites become truly a people that God loves in the future?
但是从历史看起来不是这样。
If you look at history, you might not think so.
上礼拜有提过，人因为有这个身体的限制。
So I talked about since man has his bodily limitations.
所以这个身体它会软弱。
He becomes weak.
这个身体因为被限制住，所以它不能随心所欲。
Since it has its limits, it cannot meet expectations all the time.
那早上王长老谈的道理有谈到，人想要做的善行不出来，不想做的恶反而去做。
And so this morning, it was mentioned that man fails to display the good in his heart, but readily displays the evil in his heart.
我们可能大罪不会犯。
So we might not commit great sins.
但是人会生气。
But we get easily angered.
王长老早上说他也会生气。
So Elder Huang said this morning that he also was prone to anger.
我听到他说我也会。
And so I thought, oh, me too.
我圣经读那么多，还是会生气。
Even though I read the Bible, I still get angry from time to time.
那我们今天都教育人要用自己的力量来使自己不要生气，让自己能够守这个道。
And so nowadays we would like to say, we like to tell people to use their own self-discipline to control their emotions.
那当时以色列民他也是用自己的力量要守摩西这个律法。
And back then, the Israelites also used their own power to respect the law that Moses set down.
人做不到。
However, it was not possible.
神就很生气。
And God was angry.
神要惩罚他们。
And punished them.
所以之后呢，神就兴起了先知。
And so he brought prophets.
那以利亚就是神兴起先知的一个代表。
And Elijah here represents the prophets.
从列王纪上17章开始以利亚就出现了。
So from 1 Kings chapter 17, Elijah appears.
那以利亚让寡妇的孩子死里复活。
And so Elijah brought the widow's son back to life.
然后去跟巴力的先知去做比较。
And he competed with the disciples of Baal.
因为当时的人民虽然是拜神，
Because back then, even though the people worshipped
但
God,
是心里却远离神。
their hearts
我们今
were
天
far from Him.
我们今天其实很类似
And today we are in a similar position.
许多人来教会，
Many people come to church.
但是心都跑出去了
However, their hearts are elsewhere.
我们虽然是拜神
We worship the Lord.
我们虽然是读圣经，
We read the Bible.
我们虽然我们说我们有主耶稣在我们心里，
Even though we say we have the Lord in our heart.
可是很多人主耶稣跑掉了
But a lot of people, to them, the Lord is not in their hearts.
就像刚刚讲的，说那个人就真耶稣教会在买珍珠啊，
For example, True Jesus Church is buying this pearl
那因为这个珍珠真的很宝贵，
because this pearl is really precious.
所以那个传道就说，所以我们就是把这个去做那个很漂亮的珍珠盒。
So the preacher says, "Oh, we must make this beautiful, perfect case to house this pearl."
我们以前是用一个布袋放了珍珠拿去卖，
So before we put this pearl in like a cloth sack,
然后大部分人看到布袋就不会买这个珍珠，
and many people they see this cloth sack and think there's nothing of value inside.
那我们现在就把那个珍珠盒子就越做越漂亮。
And so, in order to spread the magnificence of the pearl, we make a cover that's worth it.
那怕因为珍珠太宝贵，所以珍珠藏起来。
And because the pearl is precious, so they hide it and show only the case instead.
所以人家就看到那个珍珠盒子，
So people only see the case.
所以人家来信就信这个珍珠盒子。
And so when they come to believe, they only believe in the case.
所以我们现在教堂越盖越漂亮，
So nowadays, churches become more and more beautiful.
教会的组织越来越庞大，
And there is much more support for building churches.
教会的活动越来越多，
And there's much more activities within churches.
聚会也很多，
And there's a lot of sermons.
这什么都多，就是少了一颗珍珠。
And so this case becomes very abundant, but it's missing pearls inside.
我第一次1984年在英国听到这个道理，我心里很震撼。
So when I first heard of this sermon in 1984, my heart was very distraught.
那个传道跟我好朋友
And that preacher was a good friend with me.
他拉着我的手，
And he took me by the hand.
他说：“你知道吗？真耶稣教这个珍珠不见了。
He said, "Did you know this pearl? It's within the TJC is gone.
不是不见，
It isn't gone.
被藏起来，
It's been hidden.
没有拿出来，
They don't take it out.
藏到哪里？
Where is it hidden?
找不到。
We can't find it.
所以我们要把这个珍珠找出来
We have to find this pearl.
这个就是神啊，
This is God.
这神本身的作为啊。
This is God and His actions.
这个珍珠找出来，才是我们真耶稣教会啊。
We are only true Jesus Church if we find that pearl.
我们现在花那么多的时间在做珍珠盒子干什么？
Why are we spending so much time making this pearl case if there's no pearl?
所以在亚哈王的这个年代，他们的宗教整个都偏掉了。
And so within the rule of King Ahab, they had completely strayed from their religion.
亚哈王朝的时候，那时候的以色列很富强，很有钱。
Under the reign of King Ahab, the Israelites were really rich and powerful.
里面祭司、先知一堆，
And they had tons of priests and high priests.
然后他们每一年就是过这重要的圣经的节日，他们都会去献祭。
And they respected all the important festivals of the Christian religion.
所以圣经里面交代的，他们都做到。
And they did all that was in the Bible.
但是人偏离了神，
However, the hearts of the people left God.
连王自己也偏离了神。
Even the hearts of the king left God.
所以以利亚就在跟巴利的这些先知、外邦的神的这些先知就做一个比较。
And so Elijah came and confronted the disciples of Baal and made a comparison.
在那边对抗。
And so he confronted them.
然后这个时候，神与以利亚同在。
And at that time, God was with Elijah.
以色列民就看到神。
And the people saw God.
所以摩西让以色列民看到神。
So Moses led the Israelites to see God.
以利亚让以色列民看到神。
And Elijah also led the Israelites to see God.
所以非常重要的工作
This is very important.
啊，他自己无所谓
They themselves are not that important.
啊，他本身做什么都无所谓，
And their actions themselves are not that important.
重要的是他的工作让以色列民看到神。
But what's important is that their actions led the Israelites to see God.
什么叫先知
So what is a prophet?
啊？先知不是说我预知什么叫先知，
A prophet is not someone who merely prophesizes and tells the future.
而是神的代言者，帮神讲话。
He is a messenger. He is a spokesman for God.
所以我们今天每个人都要当先知
So today we must all be prophets.
啊，我们要当神的代言者，
We must be the spokespeople of God.
我们要让别人因为我们讲话能够去看到神。
We must let others, through our words, see God.
那所以从以利亚以后，很多的先知啊，越讲越重，越讲越严厉。
So after Elijah, multiple prophets appeared, and what the things they spoke of became graver and graver.
然后为什么？因为以色列民带着这个身体，
Why? Because the Israelites, they took their bodies with
哎
them.
他想要去做，做不到
And they wanted to do things, but they couldn't do them.
啊。那人在做什么？
So what did they do?
以色列民他们在做那个珍珠盒子，
What were they doing? They were making the case, the
就
pearl
就
case.
像我们今天的教会，我们在做珍珠盒子，
Just like churches nowadays, we make pearl cases.
哎，珍珠不见了，
Where is the pearl?
找不到啦。
It's not there.
我们要卖的是珍珠，不是卖盒子。
We're trying to sell to the people is not this case, but the pearl.
真耶稣教会从以前到今天所传的是主耶稣是神，
So ever since the foundation of the church, what we've been preaching is Jesus is the Lord.
不是在传这个组织，
It is not to preach.
就那个组织啊啊哦
It is not. It is not to spread the organization.
哎，那我们今天已经变成看不到神，而在看到其他的，看到人啊，看到其他东西了。
So nowadays we are at a point where we no longer see God. We only see these people.
哎，那所以先知这么多一个一个圣经里面讲都被杀掉了。
And so, and it's mentioned, if you look at the Bible, all of these prophets, one by one, they are killed.
哎，所以以弗所书那个第1章里面说，神在创世以前就借着爱子主耶稣来成就了救赎。
And so, it's written in Ephesians that since the beginning of time, the salvation of man has been laid out.
所以主耶稣亲自来到这个世上，
And the Lord came personally to the earth.
他要解决什么问题？
What did he come to do?
我问一个问题：我们今天大家都信耶稣，
So today, I ask a question. Today, we all believe in the Lord Jesus.
早上王长老师问题第一个啊，我们信什么？
So this morning, Elder Wang asked, "What do we believe in?"
啊，主耶稣来到这个世上是主要是解决什么？
So what did Jesus come to the earth to do?
哎，那我们都不知道的话，那我们花那么多时间来教会干嘛？
If we do not know that, why do we spend so much time coming here?
所以我们来到这边，就是我们有所解决。
We come here because we have something to solve,
啊，那这个解决是主耶稣先帮我们解决，
and that thing has already been solved by the Lord,
就是解决我们这身体被限制住，
and that is the problem, which is that we are limited by our flesh.
我们不能去见神。
We cannot meet the Lord.
这个身体被限制住，我们不能去做神要我们做的事。
We cannot do what the Lord wants us to do because we are bound to our mortal flesh,
因为人被限制住，
because we are shackled by
所
them.
以上礼拜我一直强调人被限制住。
So last week I kept on emphasizing this point.
人被什么限制住？
So which is what is man bound by?
为什么这个物质世界，这个肉身的世界会被限制？
We are bound by the material world. We are bound by our flesh.
啊，刚刚有提到亚当夏娃犯罪了以后，这个身体就被限制。
And so ever since Adam and Eve committed the first sin, they have been limited by their flesh.
啊，把它限制的就是罪
And what limits it is sin.
啊。一个人若行道行不出来
And so if a person cannot do the deeds he needs to do,
啊，心中找不到神，
cannot find the Lord within his heart,
发生了什么事？
what happened there?
我有罪。
He sinned.
如果我没有罪，我会看到神；
If he did not sin, he would see the Lord.
如果我没有罪，我行道行得出来。
If he did not sin, he could do all the things he was meant to do.
啊，我之前在台北教会听到一个，就是谢长老啊，他就是谈到，一直噜讲方言，一直震动，就时间那么久，那么大声，可是行为没改变。
So I was listening in Taiwan. I was listening to this Elder Xie talk about how people, they speak in tongue and they shake with the Holy Ghost, yet their behaviors don't change.
啊，他看那个人祷告，他一直摇頭。
And so he saw that person pray and he shook his
哎
head.
他把我叫过去，
And he called me.
啊，他说没有用。
He said, he called that person and said, it's no use.
哎，我们被教育不是要多祷告吗？
But don't they teach us that we need to pray often
要长时间祷告吗？
and pray for a very long time?
没有用，
It's all useless
他身上有罪，
because he has sinned.
看不到神啊，做不出来啊。
He does not see the Lord. He cannot do what he needs to do.
那我早上听王长老，他有讲到这一段，
And so this morning I heard Elder Wong say the same thing.
我听了好震撼
And I was amazed
啊！我觉得，哇，真的把那个我们平常不敢讲的话都讲出来了。
because he spoke words that normally no one would dare
哎
say
因为他们都是教会的长辈，
because they're all elders
啊
within
他
the
们
church.
看了很多啊。
And they were all part of the first generation, so they saw a lot.
啊，谢长老在台湾看很多，那个王长老在中国看很多。
So Elder Xie, he saw a lot of things in Taiwan, and Elder Wang, he was also in China and saw multitudes of things.
主耶稣就是要解决人罪的问题。
So Jesus came to solve the problem, which is our sin.
如果人信了耶稣，罪还在，那就不叫信耶稣。
If a person believes in Jesus yet has sinned, he does not truly believe in Jesus.
啊，我们看约翰一书，
Let us look at 1 John.
请看24节，啊不，请看第3章24节，
1 John chapter 3, verse 24.
第3章24节。
1 John chapter 3, verse 24.
24节，遵守神命令的就住在神里面，神也住在他里面。所以我们知道，神住在我们里面，是因他所赐的，赐给我们的圣灵。
24. And he that keepeth his commandments abide in him, and he in him. And hereby we know that he abides in us, by the Spirit which he gave us.
哎，那一个遵守神命令的，才是住在神里面的。
And so only a person who abides by the Lord's commandments live in him.
啊，神也住在他里面。
And the Lord lives in him also.
从摩西以后，以色列民难道是他们不愿意去遵守神的命令吗？
So since Moses' time, have the Israelites been unable to comply with God's commands?
啊，因为这个身体的限制做不到。
Well, yes, because they were limited by their physical flesh.
因为有罪，所以做不到。
Because they were limited because they had sin.
哎，那以利亚后面以赛亚、以利沙这么多的先知就来警告，难道听了他们不会怕吗？
So after Elijah came Elisha and Isaiah and all these prophets. Do they not fear the words they speak?
啊，他们会怕啊，
Of course they fear,
哎，但做不到。
but they can't do it.
哎，彼得啊，这些门徒啊，跟着耶稣，耶稣叫他们怎么样？他们不想做吗？
Do the Jesus disciples, such as Peter, when Jesus instructs them to do something, do they not want to do his bidding?
啊，当然想做啊，
Of course they do,
啊，做不到。
but they can't
所以人被限制住，
because they're limited.
就是被罪限制住，
They're limited by sin,
所以人做不到。
so they can't do what they're supposed to do.
所以我们的信仰就是我们靠着神来做到。
So our faith is brought up by relying on God.
啊，人借着神的灵，
So by the Spirit of God,
啊，借着神的力量，
by the power of God,
人才可以去做到。
man can do what he's meant to do.
所以又讲回来，人要做到这一些，不是用人的力量。
So for man to do the things he's supposed to do, he cannot rely on his own
我
strength.
现在在教会里面有教会的地位，
So in the church, I have a position in the church,
这个地位不能让我做到，
but I can't do the things I'm supposed to do.
让我做到的是神。
Not with my position.
我们都以为谁有地位他就一定做得到，不是这样的。
But only with the power of God. We might think that someone in a position is more capable of doing something.
我们是要靠神，不是要靠这些地位。
But that's not the case. We must rely on a God, not the position of our physical world.
啊，我在教会很热心，
As for example, if I'm very fervent in the church,
这热心也让我做不到。
this ferventness does nothing for me
要有神来帮助我才做得到
unless the Lord is with me to help me.
啊！所以，我们今天就是离开这颗珍珠，
So today we've strayed away from this pearl,
就是我们的神。
and this is our God.
我们所有一切要靠着神，我们才做得到。
We must rely on God for everything.
我们都没有靠着神，我们什么都做不到。
Without the Lord, we can't accomplish anything.
我们做到都是表面的，
We can only accomplish superficial
我们
things.
做的都是人的功，不是神的功。
We do man's work, not God's work.
做的不是神要给我们的。
What we are doing is not the actions that God instructed us to do.
那人这样浪费时间没意义，
And if we do that, we're just wasting time.
倒不如像以利亚一样，
For example, like Elijah.
以利亚就坐在溪边，就这么吃喝，
He was by the river eating
这吃到水干了，
until it dried up.
要跑到寡妇家里去，就这边吃饼
So he went to the widow's house and ate bread there.
3年零6个月什么都没做，
And he did nothing for months.
但是神的话临到他，他出来做了非常重要的圣工。
However, the word of the Lord reached him, and so he set out and did one important thing.
你不能说他3年零6个月没有做事，他不是神的工人。
And so you can't say that since he did nothing for all these months, he's not a worker of the Lord.
我现在在教会大发热心，我就是真的是神的工人了吗？
If you are very fervent and you do a lot of things in the church, are you truly a worker of God?
那我们做的不是神让我做的，
If what we're doing is not the work of the Lord,
那我们做的都白做工啊，
then it is all for naught.
都浪费时间了。
It's a waste of time.
所以，我们今天每个人都要寻求神的旨意。
So today we must all seek the will of God.
要寻求神旨意以前，先把我们心中这颗珍珠，我们的神找回来。
But to do that, we must first find this pearl, which is the Lord, within our hearts.
那我们下次我们再继续这个主题。
So we will continue this topic next week.
主耶稣怎么样来代替摩西？怎么样来代替以利亚？
And we will talk about how the Lord guided Moses and how he guided Elijah
怎么样来拯救我们？
and how he saved us
我们要怎么样被主耶稣拯救？
and how we can be saved
才能够真正做一个真正属神的人。
and how we can be a true godly man.
我们请唱诗50首。
Please flip to hymn number 50.